Well, good morning, everybody, and I want to thank you for being here for our press conference. The Rio Grande Valley Partnership designed this because we had some fantastic advocacy trips over the last month, I guess, month and a half, and we wanted to make sure that everybody understood what was the purpose, what is the regionalism efforts that are taking place, and really what were the benefits for our advocacy trips. The first one that we're going to start off with this morning was a trip that we most recently took to Washington D.C. and this was June 12th through 14th. And the purpose of the trip was to take a delegation from the Rio Grande Valley to visit with our lawmakers in Washington D.C. To be able to advocate for some of our legislative priorities, to be able to talk and have discussions with some of our senators and our congressmen and congresswomen, and also with some of our state agencies, federal agencies, to really convey who the Rio Grande Valley is, what are some of our challenges, some of our opportunities, and to get some questions answered. Because I know as we talk amongst ourselves, as we conduct business here in the region, there's things that we want to make sure that the public knows about. There's things that we want to make sure that our lawmakers know about, and so that's really the purpose. The delegation from the Rio Grande Valley recently completed a significant visit to the nation's capital aimed at amplifying the region's advocacy priorities and fostering collaboration across various federal departments and representatives. Our key legislative priorities that we talked about, that we took with us, were water and environmental resources, our infrastructure improvements, education and workforce development, healthcare access and quality, border security and immigration reform, economic development and job creation. We created leave behinds. We created material that we could give to each one of the offices, that we could give to each one of our congressmen, congresswomen, and senators, so that way they could know what were our priorities, and we broke it down to the issues that we're facing. We broke it down to some challenges and some opportunities that we think that we could capitalize on, and some asks. So we definitely want to leave them with information that they could better understand us, and hopefully lead them in a direction that we all believe is beneficial to our region. The delegation also met with federal agencies such as the U.S. Department of Health and Human Service, the Bureau of Reclamation, International Trade Administration, or the Department of Commerce, and the U.S. Department of States. We engaged with senators and representatives from various districts, and we emphasized the importance of our collaborative effort. And really, that was the key of it. We wanted to go up with a collaborative voice. We wanted to go up and make sure that we had, that we were able to discuss regional issues, and we believe that it was powerful, and we believe that it was well received. On our trip, we had a great delegation, and I'll briefly introduce our delegation that we had. To start with, Mayor McAllen from Brownsville, Mayor Gonzalez from Wesco, Commissioner Brazas from Wesco, Commissioner Pepe de Vaca from McAllen. We had Manny Vela, the director here at the Rio Grande Development Council, and thank you for letting us use your space this morning for our press conference, and Orlando Campos with the Harlingen EDC. So what we'll do now is we're going to have each one come up and address you all. We'll have questions and answers after that, but really the purpose of the original address is to talk about what we experienced, the purpose of the regional effort, and what you experienced and what your takeaway was. So Mayor Cowan, if you will please be our first. Thank you.
Thank you, Daniel. Like everyone knows, I'm Mayor Cowan from Brownsville. I've been the mayor now for 1 year. When I got elected, RGV Partnership really kicked off their one region, one voice approach to advocating for our region, right? And I think these trips to Washington D.C. are crucial to really highlight the resources that we need in order to be a successful region, to be a more sustainable region. When we meet with our legislative delegation, with other congressmen and senators, A lot of people really get their information from the media on what's going on in the RGV, and that always doesn't tell the story. So I think it's important to get in front of our leaders and tell the story, what's happening from our words and what we need. And I think, in my opinion, the number one issue that we're facing is our water shortages that we're potentially facing. Hopefully, with the rain that potentially might be coming, we'll get some relief. But from a long-term perspective, we really need to be strategic and not just focus on one city. We need to focus on the 47 cities in the Rio Grande Valley and how we can all be sustainable going forward, because we are all experiencing tremendous growth and prosperity is coming to our communities, but we cannot get there without that crucial resource. So I think that was my number one goal going out of this trip, and I think we had some really great conversations and potential funding sources that we can pursue together. And I think infrastructure as well. I mean, I think that's another focus that we need to attract more resources down here to make sure that we're all being able to connect efficiently and making sure that that we can attract businesses to our region, because we are a very young region. Our average age is about 29 years old. We have a lot of land. We have a lot of capabilities when you look at our cross-border partners in Reynosa and Matamoros, and being able to build on that, I think is going to be it's a real value add going forward for us. So I think, I was really blessed to be able to travel with this group, and I think it sets us up for more success as we move forward. So with that said, I'll take some questions. I don't know if we're going to continue.
Yeah, we can continue, and
sure.
then we'll do the questions.
Okay, so.
There
You see, this is a good thing about coming together. I allowed, he's like, hey, this is your hometown. I was like, no, it's all right. Courtesy. You go first. But it was a great trip. Building strong relationships both locally and at the federal level is crucial in advocating effectively for Wesco and the RGV, interest. Strong relationships and federal lawmakers, agencies, and officials amplify our voice when advocating for funding and policies that benefit our community. When they know and trust us, they are more likely to understand and support our needs in Wesco and across the RGV. Meeting with all these different individuals and showing that we're together and what we do it speaks volumes. And we want to continue moving forward, not only as the mayor of Wesco, but knowing that we're helping each other in the RGV grow and get to where we want to get at. I think that together, out there speaking to these agencies, speaking to all these different individuals, it shows the power and unity of the RGV and what we want to accomplish moving forward. I think a lot of our cities we're all in the same, mindset as far as, hey, we want to do what's best for our cities or for our city, but we're here to do it together and to grow together with that one region, one voice. I believe that, we're starting that trend and we're doing that, and it's, Wesco and the RGV, speaking of myself, is getting put in the map. But most importantly, it's the RGV. Brownsville, McAllen, the different cities around us, they're there. As far as me, I'm trying to get Wesco to that level. So working together, learning, bouncing ideas off each other, it really helps us. And moving forward in communicating with our legislators and our representatives in the Washington area, and getting updated. And not only, like I tell everybody, and I told them up there, hey, I'm going to be knocking on your door a lot more now, because I want to make sure that we get what the needs here in not only Wesco but in the RGV. So working together, it's not only it's going to benefit all of us. And I see the RGV growing tremendously in the next 2 to 5 years, and people are going to see the change and the growth. And again, working together as one is going to do a lot for our community and of course for the RGV altogether. So again, thank you guys for being here, and Daniel, thank you for putting this together. We really appreciate it, and we're hoping that we continue to move forward together and growing the RGV, as one. So thank you very much. You see, where was it? Because we get 2 representatives. So we're hosting it.
Well, what can I say that hasn't been said already? Going up there and networking and firsthand sharing what it is that not only Weslaco but the entire region needs as a whole is vital. It speaks volumes when we can go instead of where we represent about 50,000 people, and instead we go as a whole and we as a collective whole, and we come as 1.6 million people, which is about the population of the RGV. We get to share exactly firsthand what it is that our communities need, not only, again, Weslaco, but our surrounding communities. And again, coming together is key. It's not just about, because flood mitigation for us will ultimately help Mercedes, will ultimately help Donna, Ed Couch, Progresso, as far as McAllen, Edinburgh, and all those regions. So when we go out there and we're soliciting funds and letting them know what it is we need, it's not just for us, it's for the entire RGV, and I think that's key. And them hearing it firsthand from several entities speaks volumes, and we'll continue to do that, and continue to fight for our people and our region. And I want to thank everyone for being here, so we can share this, and so people understand that we're out there, as one region, one voice, fighting for everyone, and making sure that the quality of life is always one that's going to improve. So with that being said, thank you, and appreciate you being here.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Baca.
Good morning, good morning. Very happy to be here in Weslaco and with the RGV partnership. Thank you so much for that trip. It was a tremendous trip. It was very, very nice. It was very important. My name is Pepe Cabeza, City Commissioner for the City of McAllen. But I went in 2 capacities to that trip. I was also representing Commissioner David Fuentes, Hidalgo County, Precinct 1, whose office is here, the City of Weslaco, and I represent him in different capacities. So you have 2 representatives from Weslaco and a half. You see, and a half. But all my sales taxes stay over here in Weslaco and Donna and the surrounding areas, and then my property taxes in McAllen. But and that was the key, going as a one force. It was the key in Washington. We were not going as City of McAllen. We were not going as Weslaco. We were not going as individual cities. We were going as one force, and that impacted a lot of the congressmen and senators over there in Washington, because we were telling them what was the problems that we have, what was the challenges that we have, right? Water is essential. Remember that water is the most important thing to get the infrastructure in place. And with water, with infrastructure, then comes the business. And with the business, it comes economic development, it comes the job creation, right? So everything is linked. It's like when we go as one to those places like Washington, say like, here we are, not a city of Weslaco, not a city of McAllen, not a city of Brownsville, as the Rio Grande Valley. It resonates to them. They understand the needs of the region and they react to it. Why? Because you're talking about volume. You're talking about a lot of voters, a lot of people, a lot of residents that they need to go ahead and help out. So thank you to the RGV partnership for putting it together. It was a great effort for me. About 14 years ago, actually you didn't know that, Daniel, I was a board member for the RGV partnership when Mr. Summers was the president. So I used to come from McAllen over here and try to make the push, and I see this vision of those leaders back then becoming a reality today. So that's awesome, having Mayor Cowan over here with us today. It's a big step, and having Mayor Gonzalez from Weslaco, me representing the city of McAllen, it makes a statement. We are going to make it happen, guys. We are going to send and continue to send that message to Washington, and hopefully they bring the resources that we all need in the Rio Grande Valley. God bless you all, and thanks so much for having me.
spend a lot of time watching we should have moved over here.
Oh, yeah, maybe?
Good morning, everybody. First of all, I just wanted to thank Daniel and RGV Partnership and his staff for welcoming me with open arms and able to take the trip to DC. My name is Manny Cruz. I'm the Executive Director for the Lower Rio Grande Valley Development Council. As you know, the region has many needs, and events like these overemphasize those needs and resources that we continue to need in the valley. And so, before I get to some of the topics, I don't know if you all knew, but when we went to DC, the weather was amazing, right? And so when we came back, we brought back some of that good weather, and as you noticed, the temperatures went up in DC. So that was a plus. So we get to go again, and the weather changes for the better down for the valley. It's always good. So thank you so much for that. So the trip, as many have said today, trip to DC is crucial for all the cities, for all the local governments here within the Lower Rio Grande Valley Development Council area of responsibility. We have 46 total cities. That includes the 3 counties. Population, as they said, 1.6 million. We're the 5th largest council of governments within the state of Texas. The 5th largest council of governments. I repeat that again because it's crucial. That means that we have the population of Houston, Austin, San Antonio, Dallas. We're the 5th largest cog in the region, in the area, in the state of Texas. So with that, obviously economic development is a huge, as you can see over the years, it's an eye-opener. The valley is growing through leaps and bounds. Development is taking place throughout the whole entire 3-county area. Not only local government, but the private sector as well. Different industries are coming to the valley. And for that, we need the infrastructure to make sure that these many residents and companies are able to prosper from our infrastructure. Public safety is a huge endeavor. As you know, we are right down by the border, and so funding is desperately needed to continue to enhance our public safety environment. We have transportation. Again, the Lower Rio Grande Valley Development Council under Valley Metro is the transportation authority for the region, 5 counties, not 3, but 5 counties. And so that resource is highly needed. There's a huge, big push right now to create a regional transit authority. What does that mean? Huge for the valley. We're approaching this at a regional basis, and so that is highly needed within the 3-county area. It streamlines transportation services and provides the necessary resources, buses, routes to the community that needs it for or to go to the doctor, to go to college, go to your work. All that is needed. And besides, it prospers the valley because it beautifies the valley, eliminates congestion, pollution. And so that was a big push, obviously, from this delegation as well. And last but not least, the water issue. As you know, Mexico, within the 5-year cycles, owes us 1.7 million acre-feet of water. Thus far, they've only produced 400,000. And so there's a big disparity there. And so it was surprising to me that the legislators are very proactive in this particular topic. They've already taken steps to address, mitigate the situation, and so we are highly confident that they'll continue to push forward and further regulate some of these topics or restrictions on the water situation. And with that, again, thank you, Daniel, thank you, the RGV Partnership and their staff, and the delegation that went to DC, and I look forward to future trips to DC with you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Manny.
Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Orlando Campos. I am the CEO of the Harlingen Economic Development Corporation. And I certainly want to echo everyone's appreciation of the strong efforts that the RGV partnership has made in uniting the entire region. You know, next week will be my 1-year anniversary of coming back to the Valley. And prior to this year, I spent 16 years in the DFW Metroplex. So I witnessed firsthand the success that can be had when regions work together to help promote everything that they need to. I've heard that the RGV only has about 47 communities up in North Texas. You're talking about 120 communities. So if they were able to do it, we can certainly do it here in the Rio Grande Valley. So I had the opportunity to travel both to the ICSC as well as the DC trip. And so since coming back to the Valley, I'm very excited of the strong efforts that are being led to unite the Valley so that we can promote the advocacy that is needed here within the community and the region. By 2040, the population of the Rio Grande Valley is expected to nearly double. So along with that growth comes the need for more infrastructure, water, transportation, and given our location, strong regional efforts are also needed right across the border as well. It is said that a rising tide raises all ships. So whenever one community succeeds, the entire region succeeds. So it is very, very important that we continue to work together to help promote the entire region so that we can become economically competitive even more with other larger metros here in the state of Texas, so that we can certainly get our fair share of the success that the entire state of Texas is experiencing. And so we are very happy and very proud to support the efforts that the RGV partnership has done over the last few years or so, and we will continue to support this effort. So thank you.
Thank you.
So as we can see, we had a strong delegation. We had a broad sector of the region. We had 60 members that traveled with us for this advocacy trip, and a lot of important topics were brought up just a little while ago, and really the force that we had as a region, it drew a lot of attention. A lot of our legislators paid attention to our questions. You know, we got some myths debunked when it comes to the water and our resources. We were able to, as Manny mentioned, you know, talk about our needs for rail, talk about our needs for transportation here in the region when we visited with the agency. And so we were able to get important topics discussed, questions answered. And what I was proud about with our delegation was that there was a lot of questions that were asked. It wasn't a show and tell. It wasn't they come in and they talk to us about what they're doing up there, and it's just kind of cookie cutter. We got direct interaction about all of our issues and really discussed important topics that we could all bring home back to our communities. You know, because we mentioned 47 cities. Each and every one of these individuals here represents a city and has a responsibility to their city. But to collectively come together as a region, it really does help strengthen the need of all of us. We have a lot of commonalities. We have some specific needs between each city, and we were able to get both of those things accomplished. I'm going to open with really just two questions because I know time is pretty much done, but I wanted to ask, and we'll go to a panel and anybody can answer the question, but in your mind, what was one of the most impactful moments or conversations that you experienced when we were there in Washington, D.C.?
I'll go ahead and answer that. I think I think one of the most impactful is sitting down with Congressman Gonzalez. You know, being able to have that one-on-one and kind of, you know, voicing our needs for our region. You know, and so I think that's huge. You know, yeah, we go to different events and stuff, and you know, we're out there, but we're never, it's not all the time that you can actually sit down at the table and discuss one-to-one on what we need and what we expect, or, you know, how we can all come together and get things done for the Valley. So I think that was very impactful. So not only are we letting him know what the need is, but he's also giving us that feedback on what he's doing for our region. So I think that was, for us and for me, I think that was key.
I think an opportunity. Sure. An opportunity also, of course, is talking to our Congresswoman De La Cruz, our Congressman Gonzalez, but also to put that information to the minds of the other Congresswomen and Senators. Because at the end of the day, our Congresswomen and Congressmen needs the support of those other members of Congress. And for them to understand our area is very important and crucial. When you have the leader of the Democratic Party in the Congress like Hakeem Jeffries, meet with us and have the time, to listen to us, it's awesome. People listen to the guy. People listen to Congressman Gonzalez. People listen to Congresswoman De La Cruz. And those kind of things are going to make their job easier to bring the resources that we will need. So that was my take into this trip. It was very, very, very nice.
Thank you, and that's important. And as we designed this trip, we made sure that we included committee chairs. We made sure that we included individuals or representatives that were from specific locations, specific areas of focus. To have 9 congressmen, women, and senators meet with us, to have 6 agencies meet with us over a 2-day period, it was a lot of opportunity, a lot of interaction. And that's really what the initiative of One Region, One Voice is designed around. It's designed to make sure that we collectively have one voice, that we all carry the need of the region. And what the partnership is going to do is we're going to create marketing opportunities for us to be able to get that to the rest of the world. One Region, One Voice is what we're using to be able to collectively market all of our topics, all of our pillars in this community, and really let our representatives and our senators at the state level and the federal level understand what we need and really the force that we have here in the Rio Grande Valley. The second question that I'll ask, and we'll finalize with this, is based on your interactions in D.C., what do you think the next crucial step would be in advocating for this region and advocating for your community?
So the most important thing that we need to do is to continue being active. We have to continue being in front of those legislators, because there's a saying, out of sight, out of mind, right? So if we keep on pushing, we keep on being active, we keep on being in front of those decision makers, we're gonna be just fine. As a region, of course, that we'll be talking to, as a one force, and continue being there with them. They get asked by many areas, many cities, and many regions about their needs. Well, we have our needs, but we have to keep on being there and keep on being in their mind. So whenever budget comes, don't forget about us.
I would have to agree. Being persistent, being consistent, and again, as a region, presenting our needs, and also at the same time, they kind of gave us a footprint as to how to go about doing things. And if we go prepared with, say, for example, shovel-ready projects, they know right away, or they can recall that information once money's become available, and hopefully set aside or earmark for the various regions, the various areas here in the RGV. So again, yes, I believe it's us just being constantly in their ear, being persistent, and showing that the needs of our people are also important.
Thank you for that. We appreciate the time that each and every one of you all took as we took this trip. I know that we have busy schedules. I know that we have a lot of fires that we have to put out at the local level, but it's important for us to advocate for the region. It's important for us to make these trips. The partnership is dedicated to continue to do this. We've done it for a number of years, and we continue to get stronger. Each and every trip, I believe, gets better. And I think that it may get to a place where we're doing this multiple times a year, so that way we make sure it's exactly right. We out of sight, out of mind. We don't want that to be the case, and we want to make sure that the Valley's issues are being taken care of. And I think that we're going to see some fruit from this trip. I think there's been some great conversations that took place, and all of it is for the betterment of the region. So With that being said, we'll conclude this portion of our press conference. The next portion will be for ICSC, but I wanted to finalize with, we're starting to hear Rioplex. We're starting to hear this name be brought up, and we're starting to see media cover it. And what that is it's our region. It's the 4 counties plus it's northern Tamaulipas. So what I'd like for everybody to understand is, through one region, one voice, everybody's collective voice, we are going to market a geographic region, which is Rioplex. And with that being the idea, we'll be able to cultivate, we'll be able to bring together all of the strengths from this entire region, and it's a force to be reckoned with. And we really can compete with anybody in the world, given all the assets that we have. So the partnership is going to continue to dedicate ourselves to marketing. We're going to work with all of our 47 communities, and we'll see great things here in the region. So thank you for your time.